don't judge. Well, Jesus seems to tell us don't judge. In other parts of the Bible, it asks us to judge righteously. And this got me thinking, yes, I was always under the impression, no, we shouldn't judge. So let me go look in the Bible at some of these quotes. And fair enough, or sure enough, there are a lot of quotes. I found the one that says, don't judge, and we'll be familiar with that one, Matthew 7, don't judge lest ye be judged. Very soon after that, I found another one that says, judge righteously. Another one, Corinthians tells us, a spiritual man judges all things. And so I started to think, well, how do we... Is that fine? Felt like Superman, but I'm sure like... So I started looking into this judging righteously. And how do I understand this? Now, what was interesting is that the word judge in the New Testament is translated into the word judge by 10 different Greek words. What I'm saying, 10 different Greek words are translated into the word judge. So I endeavored to go through each of these things and try and understand, well, what is it that we can do? What is it that we can't do? How can I judge righteously? And I looked in the Old Testament. I tried to see the ideas and the thinking there. And my brain always tries to simplify things. I look for what's the lever behind the scenes, that if I pull this lever, all those others come right. And the lever that I found, or that the Spirit led me to this week, was right in my heart. So what I did was I started with, well, surely there must be, let me try and find the sample size. What are the things that I can judge? What am I capable of? And I started with everything. And I said, well, I started narrowing it down. Well, yes, people become problematic. That's tough because I don't know the heart of someone. I don't know what this person's gone through. And the Bible's quite clear. God's able to judge according to the heart. He sees the heart. He sees the motives. He sees the intentions. Very clearly, I came to thinking, it's going to be tough for me. I don't really understand that. So then I started thinking about my car. I've made terrible choices with cars. Very bad. I've lost lots of money before we've been married. That was pretty... lost a lot of money with... And so the next thing I wanted to do was try and understand, well, what does this judge word mean? And that judge word you can translate, or you can translate it or simplify it into a number of different, let's say, words. But in each case, the Bible talks about, when it mentions judge, condemnation, strongly disapproving of something, you're condemning something. Talks about discernment, choosing between, trying to decide. All those things are encapsulated into judgment. And so my endeavor was to try and understand, well, how do I do that righteously? How do I do it righteously? And what I found was not pretty. It actually wasn't pretty for me. Because what I found was, in me just asking that, there's a spirit there, which is the real kernel, the real heart of what my struggle is. So if you guys wouldn't mind, I'm going to be building on the sermons which have come before me, and it's strange how the Spirit sort of leads us. We'll be talking about engagements, or let's say dynamics or stories of two women two women in the Bible. So Glenn a few weeks ago gave us a lovely sermon, a series of sermons on women. I'll be speaking about from John. I think where Andre mentioned this is the disciple who referred to himself as the disciple who continued, or who Jesus continued to love in spite of who John was. And there's a few other things that I'd like to build on. I think last week we talked about the bread, God's blood, his bread, that we'll be touching a bit on that. But where I want to start